Hello, everyone. I'm Seth,
And I'm Ben.
and we are BSTechTalk, and this is the first game talk.
And we're going to talk about a few topics about once a month as we have some video game footage playing. We hope you enjoy this.
The first game talk, we kind of wanted to let everyone get to know us a little bit, so we were going to talk about how we got into gaming. Me personally, I started out playing Sega Genesis way back when I was in second grade. That was my first foray into gaming, and also playing little computer games. I didn't really get way into gaming until I went off to college and met you, Ben, and that's when I got more into playing Blizzard games like StarCraft and countless nights of playing Diablo over the network.
Nights, not just nights, man. We pulled some full weekends where we stayed up the entire weekend playing a few games, which was not the brightest move during the time, given that we were in college.
Yeah, so how did you get started?
So I'm gonna end up dating myself, being a little bit older here. I started as far back as Atari, and Atari was at its end of life when I started playing. But the real console that got me going was the original Nintendo. That's right, the original Super Mario Brothers was my very first game. Duck Hunt, all that good stuff. So yeah, I mean that's where I remember getting started. I remember sitting down as a little kid playing Super Mario Brothers with my dad, and that was like the highlight of the evening is to come home and do that. And then I also remember some of the craziest thing is waiting for that going down to Blockbuster and waiting to be able to rent on a Friday when it would return Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the
Oh
arcade
man.
game. Those were some of my first gaming experiences. Um, I did spend a little bit of time in the arcades, but talk about an easy way to blow your allowance.
Yeah, no
So
kidding.
that's where I got started, and I've kind of just progressed through each individual console. I always had one uh, of of the particular generation, whether it was the Sega Genesis, then moving on into the PlayStation or the N64, that era, um, and just kind of progressed on up until I could start affording both consoles. And now the way things have gone, I tend to stick with the PC gaming, being who I am. That's just that seems to be where most of my fun is nowadays.
Yeah, I remember last Christmas, both you and I went and sold our consoles to get Steam cards and just cashed in on the Christmas sale.
Well, when the new consoles came out, it was kind of a disappointment to me. I'm not saying the consoles are bad. I'm not saying that they don't have their place in the market, but man, I just being able to turn in my old consoles for fresh new video games on my PC, there was something to be said for that. Given that I'd had the fun that I wanted on my consoles, I'm not big into collecting consoles and keeping them on my shelf to collect dust. I know some people like that, but
Yeah.
once the game's been played, I've tried going back to things. It never seems to be the same.
Yeah, no kidding. I know exactly what you mean. And not only is this how we got in, but gaming's kind of kept us close throughout the years. I mean, after you graduated college and we kind of went our separate ways, gaming was still something that let us keep up with each other and keep in contact.
Yeah, so Seth and I actually live in completely different parts of the country, and our friendship has continued past college using video games and Skype basically on a weekly basis, and that's been what's gotten us closer and kept us together. So it's been a real great way. People say games bring people together, and it's a very true fact. And in some cases, it keeps people together. So I'm a huge believer in the power of video games.
Yeah.
Badoots.
The people who game together stay together.
Oh man, that's just corny.
Uh, well, we're gonna end it right there. Thanks for being with us on the very first game talk. We hope you enjoyed it. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you thought it was bad, subscribe to see more, and hit us on Twitter if you want to interact with us.
Hey, thanks guys.